we've got Rowe, the coach of Renegades, with us now. And Rowe, kind of a surprising roster move, I think, to a lot of people, because obviously the whole benching of SOT happens, comes back. You guys look really good against two very difficult teams. What led you to make the decision to move on from SoloOrTroll?
I mean, it was a long process. We did have a really good weekend against Ghost and SSG, but we were in talks before that about possibly making a change. Obviously, we had the benching a couple weeks prior. That was kind of just setting a fire under him to try to wake him up a little bit and get some of those problems fixed, including just being a mental break. That worked out, didn't work out. I think it helped in some ways and was negative in other ways as well. I know a lot of people were critics of it, which is fair. I don't regret the decision at all, even though it did get us a loss against their Bay, which hurt. He come back into the Ghost and SSG set with like a new motivation. And we ended up winning against Ghost 2-0. Decent showing against SSG as well. I think we had a bit of draft fault there as well. So I think with a better drafting, we maybe would have won that set too. So wouldn't put that on him at all. I think he didn't have a third game that he was happy with, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, there was a lot of problems behind the scenes. Obviously, even though he had a good showing and he kind of rekindled his motivations, which was one of our earlier problems during the benching phase, they were kind of the wrong motivations. Not selfish, but just very self-centered in that he had a lot of motivation to win and a lot of motivation to prove himself, but didn't feel like he had a lot of motivation to work with the team. And coming into Worlds, that was very, very essential. Just over the year, mostly after MSI and into Phase 2, there was a lot of distrust between him and the teammates, or some of the teammates. A lot of disagreements that I don't know, it kind of submerged into this, like, it just snowballed out of control, really, and you can't come back from some of those things, even though we talked about it and worked on it for weeks at a time. Eventually, we got towards roster lock and felt like we had to make a decision after a couple of weeks of bad scrims, despite the good SPL showings. We couldn't just have bad practice and then hope for the best come SPL day, hope everybody would turn up on the day like they did. It just doesn't work that way coming into a big tournament like Worlds. And when our eyes are on placements and then Worlds, you can't really just put the trust in that. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully we win on the day, because that's not good odds.
I think that makes a ton of sense. And it's not every day that a world-class solo laner kind of gets opened up right on time.
That's true.
You guys
That's
picking
true.
up variety, a little bit of serendipity almost. Describe the process of, trying him out, seeing what your options were, all that kind of stuff. How did you arrive on picking up Harry?
So even before Harry was available, we had a couple options in mind that we were talking about. We did some trials as well. It was eventually between our three options, which was I'll just say Jacob, between Jacob, another person, and Harry, since he had just become available. Through trials and obviously through our scrims with Sot as well, we decided that we definitely did want to change, so we narrowed it down to the two options that we had of the two players, and eventually chose variety. It was a very hard decision. I think the two options we had were a big upgrade for the team, not necessarily over Sot as a player, because I just want to say that Sot is a very, very good player, if not one of the best mechanically skilled players in the game right now. And with the right motivations, I think he can be one of the best, but he needs a team that he can work with. And unfortunately, this year, he had too many disagreements with our team, and it wasn't the team for him. I think we'll see him again. Maybe not this year, but next year for sure as well. But arriving on Harry was a pretty easy decision. He just kind of fit the mold that we were looking for as well. He's not a person I have to worry about going into Worlds. I don't have to worry about his play in his lane at all. But even if I did, he's very coachable. He had this leadership that he apparently lacked a bit on eUnited, but he was able to step it up for us. And I think it's just a team environment kind of thing, and he meshes well with our players. I think obviously more than he might have meshed with his other players. So the reasons he was removed from eUnited weren't really relevant to us. So that was a positive, or at least it took away the negative from over there. And then, yeah, just being able to trust him. He was like, it came down to good team play, like good communication, and good like individual play, lane matchups, knowledge, mechanical skill, all of that. He kind of just checked all the boxes, even though some other applicants checked a lot of the boxes, not as many as Harry. It's hard not to pick up Harry when you look at, let's say you look at season 3. It's like we want that coming into Worlds. You gotta take that, and with some of the confidence that he brought to comms, that was a big boon for us as well. So we're happy to have him.
I think he's going to be a great fit for you guys. Can't wait to see how well he works out over there for the short lane. Good luck, Rowe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play.
Appreciate it.